What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you saw in our last video when we closed it out, I brought the Z finally into the garage just to go ahead and dive deeper into my issue. If you're new to the channel, this is my VHR 3.7 liter swapped 350Z, full VHR, meaning top to bottom, came out of a G37. So the issue I was having was it was an electrical issue. I wasn't getting cylinder 6 to fire. For some reason the car was only running on 5 cylinders. It was, I was chasing everything. I did everything mechanically, tested everything mechanically, and it wasn't anything like that. So I tested the ECU, made sure the ECU was working, etc, etc. I was pretty much chasing a ghost and I couldn't figure it out. Finally, yesterday I was just here messing around by myself. I'm gonna insert a little video. This is the problem. Found it. So as you guys saw in the video, I believe the wiring harness was touching something hot, and over time it melted and it fried a few wires. That was causing the issue because I started up the car, it was running on 5 cylinders. I literally moved the harness a little bit right there in that same location where it was burnt. Boom, car started running again on 6 cylinders. AFR was on point. So we know that's the issue. I'm gonna wait on Sean because Sean is gonna help me fix that, and we're also gonna be moving this mess of wires into the cabin. My plan of attack for that, which you guys will see now, which I'm going to get started on, is that panel right there where the airbag used to be is removable. So I'm going to remove it. It's a couple Phillips screws, and then underneath it I'm going to try my best to design like a little template or plate that we can have all the wires run in through the firewall and then connect to the relays and everything be mounted and just kind of organized. So that's what I'm going to do now. Just start taking things apart, maybe measure out and cut a little plate out of some sheet metal that I have, and then go from there. But I'm really happy at least we found the issue, because I have mods waiting for this car to put on so that we can hopefully go back to the track and run the times that we're looking to run. So for now guys, I'm going to set you up on a little time lapse. I'm going to start disassembling some things, kind of taking the battery out, getting an idea of the space that we have, and then going from there. So stay tuned. All right guys, so quick update. Obviously I wasn't going to really record this because it was more me just trying to make a map of where wires are going to go, where things are going to go. So I got all the wiring that was here kind of out. As you can see, the sub harnesses over there with the relays and stuff like that. So my plan of attack is, as you can see right here, I have my heater hole or heater core holes kind of blocked in from the inside, but I stole off of one of my part out cars this little grommet. So I'm gonna run all of the wires that need to go inside through this grommet, and then it'll come back in through the firewall and then come through the back here. And then I'm actually making a little bracket. It's like an L bracket, but it's kind of wide so we can fit the 3 relays on it. But it's gonna pretty much bolt here, and then it's gonna be bent down so that the relays will be right here, all in line, and then all the wires can feed to them through the back. So let me show you what I got so far. Granted, it's a very rough cut. I need to clean it up, throw some paint on it, sand down the edges or grind down the edges, but that's pretty much what we're looking at. This will mount to the top there, and then I'll be able to mount relay, and then all 3 getting connected through the back. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up, drill a hole, get it bolted into the car, and then we'll have a template for Sean to mount the relays and then run all the wiring to here. All right guys, so we're kind of at a standstill, at least until Sean gets here. But like I said, I moved all of the wiring out of the way. I put 2 grommets in where the heater hoses would usually go. So I got 1 grommet here. That's what I'm going to use for all of the sub harness wiring. It's going to wire in. I got my little custom relay plate all done up and bolted. It's just loose right now, but it's pretty much right there. As you can see, it goes down a decent amount, so I can fit 3 relays on there. Bada bing. And then let me show you more over here. Might be hard to see, but as you can see, I use some of that Tessa tape on my those wires are for my oil pressure and coolant temp. So I have them all, running through that secondary grommet. I use the Tessa tape just to kind of keep it insulated from the outside. And then we got the other one right here, which is what we're gonna run the sub harness through. Definitely needed to do this a long time ago because it was pretty rigged the way I had it. So this will be a little bit cleaner in my sense, and I spent $0 so far, so that's always a good good sign. But let's pick this back up Sunday once we have Sean here, and we'll dive deeper into the wiring of all the stuff that I need for the swap. All right guys, so it is the next day. We got Sean here, the man, the myth, wiring up everything pretty much for that sub harness, and then he's gonna focus on fixing the wiring harness there as well. So I'm gonna set up a little time lapse, and then we'll go a little bit more in depth on everything that's getting done. But to show you guys real quick as well what I was working on earlier with this whole relay panel, obviously I'm gonna paint it black once everything's all done, but simple, just drilled some holes on some sheet metal, mounted them bolt and nut, and then it's gonna pretty much be sitting like this behind the dash, which looks pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of myself, even though it's like, you know, garage stuff, like nothing crazy, but I think it looks fire. Troy 7. All right guys, so Sean did his thing and we got everything wired up to the panel. Looks super good. Everything is, you know, appropriately ran, equal length. Everything's working out good. So we're buttoning up a few more things, and then we're moving on to the engine harness. Once he gets the engine harness done, we're gonna plug everything in and test it. So yeah, this thing is looking great. Let me show you guys the engine bay. So I mean, if you may have seen in other videos like how the wiring was, like everything is ran through the firewall. It's got its own clip on it. It's super clean, super simple. Everything is getting buttoned up. So Alright guys, so at the moment Sean is heat shrinking the engine harness that he went ahead and patched up. As I showed you guys, we got a few wires that were burnt. We counted a total of 6. So he's getting those shrunk up, and then I'm gonna continue probably connecting the harness, and he's gonna move on to heat shrinking the stuff on the inside of the car. So that way, once everything's done and ready, we can just test it real quick, and then I'll check back a little bit later, clean everything up, heat management, everything, and then maybe go do some damn pulls because it's been a while. So let's get it. All right guys, so we buttoned up everything. Don't mind the intake, you know, just whatever. We're putting it like that for now. Let's get a test start and see if everything's working. Fuel pump's on. That's out to my boy Sean, man. Couldn't have done this without you. Always coming through. Hell yeah. Woo! Hyped. Hyped AF. Fuck yeah. All right, guys. So as you saw in the last clip, we finally got everything tested and completed. I went back here. Don't mind this wire. This is my oil temp gauge. I gotta just run it down. But I wrapped it up in some of that DEI heat wrap. I moved it as far back as I can from the engine, so it's closer to the firewall. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that will help enough into the fact that this will never happen again. All the wiring was redone, everything was cleaned up. So let's, you know, pray. Let's check inside here just to give you guys a little last look. So I got all the wires here. I put kind of a loom on it. It'll be kind of hard to see, but I put a loom on it. Got everything kind of squared away. I still have a couple more things I'm gonna zip tie and clean up here before I put this panel back on. But as you saw, car started up, revved up, sounded exactly how it should. And that's a win in my book. So I'm definitely happy to have this car back. Hope you guys are too, because we need to go to the track and run some times and show everybody what's up, show everybody what a stock motor really can do. And yeah, we hope you guys are enjoying this content, and we hope that you guys are just as hyped as I am to see this car finally back in action, so we can rip it on the streets, take it to Mexico, take it to the track, etc, etc. I'm just hyped to have it back finally. It's been a while. Ever since the transmission broke, I felt like this car has just been down, but thankfully we got it back up. Huge shout out to Sean for helping me out with all of this, man. He killed it. He always does a great job. So huge shout out to him. Go give him a follow. And as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.